Hey, NASDOG, where you get the best dope on the markets. I am your technical analyst, human, old ex-floor trader. We're going to talk meats here. We're going to talk cattle. Cattle actually has turned lower here. There was another case of this screwworm. So here this morning here, this was Friday here. This was 2 days ago when the announcement first came out, Thursday, Friday. Okay, I think we have new longs that bought this market. I could be wrong. Anyway, here's today. You got those green X's over here. These were some breakout trend lines here, okay? You're coming back up into them. This is top right-hand corner. This is D's crude oil, okay? We're down 300, 322 in OC, okay? See these trend lines right here? One's here, the blue one coming across here. Now, we went underneath here. I still think they play. Okay, and here is the August. The August, okay, so you know when you look at the front months, because the front months as they come into expiration, that's where the action is going to happen. As a matter of fact, we might be getting that in D's corn, possibly in corn and in wheat. We got some olives here. I'm going to show you another one here when we have something I call outside down into an olive buy. But we'll wrap up on cattle here. This is about a 190-minute chart here. So we got a little outside down bar. These were 2 bars are yesterday. So we're back under all this here. Okay, all this here. I think this is a big area here. There's 240, both sides of 240 here. Now we're at 239. We're coming into the end of the month here. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that. I'm not making a bearish case for cattle, but you got the 50-day moving average here. You're under here. Here's the 50-day. This red moving average right here. Okay, yesterday's high. It's a red moving average. There's other things there. Okay, that means you could give more weight to it. Okay, and so here's what I wanted to talk about. Okay, I got a guy long some hogs here, and I texted him this morning. I'm like, we could step out of some hogs here when we were up 200. This morning, the hogs were up 200 and the cattle was up 200, okay? So, but we get back under this low here. I was just like, you know what? We're going to go outside down, which we are right now, okay? These are a couple olive buys. This is July hogs, 92.75. I'm sorry, 97.75. Uh-oh. Sorry about that scale if it was missing. 97.75, 96.80. Okay, so these would be a couple areas. These are not huge, but this is kind of like, the hogs are kind of like, here, hang on a second here. What was that also? Okay, that was one of the charts that went out to, so I doctor these up, a little bit if I can here. Here's a, just the notation here. This is bean oil here. Here, this is what I wanted to show. The same thing. So let's go to a daily. Jeepers. I don't know why that does that. Oh, this is silver here. These are a couple olives here. This isn't the way I do it, but they are olives. Over at top right-hand corner, it's stuck in here. Here's a thin olive, and you got one of these light greens. As a matter of fact, this is a target here. I'm going to take off that target. Okay, it's a little cleaner there. Those were also targets from up above, okay, that were on there. One other one was right on there. So last night that was, listen, last night, if you bought it here, you still took 40 cents heat. Here, okay, this was at what, 4:12 a.m., you came back, hit it. Silver will be a little head and shoulders top. We get back over to 69.10 level here. But this is what I wanted to talk about, beans, and show you how that was similar, okay? Not a huge olive buy here, but 10.30 and a half. We got down to 29 last night. I actually bought 29s here. What was this? 28 and a quarter. There was something else over here. 28 and a half, okay? And so this held for now here, 11.35 here in the beans is a trend line off the bottom here, okay? You could see yesterday it was the low. Here we had that little tiny olive here at 11.35 2 days back, okay? But this is how this thing broke out in the beans. And then one other thing, I say you give the levels that come over from the left side of the chart here, okay? You give them more weight because these are longer term, okay? This was right here. This was just a halfway back here, 1205 and a quarter here. You could see how it played, okay? And even, you know, and when you get a signal like this, you get a sharp sell-off, you could say, yeah, this too. And you come back up to new highs. But you did have another level over here. Couple long-term downward sloping in beans. Thursday is the supply and demand USDA report. Okay, so let's look at back at this hogs here. Here, the cattle is giving it up here, down $3 to $4, $3.50, $4 here. So this is what I'm talking about. We'll see if this happens, okay? We took out yesterday's high. We are currently under yesterday's low. That is an outside down day into a couple olive buys here, okay? So we'll see how that works. And then here, this is a Dees corn chart here. This is an intraday chart here. And here's the beans over here. Now we're playing around this 1135 here, this trend line off the bottom. So you need something like that. You need a broker. Email me, arp@nasdog.com. Thanks for watching. Always use a risk stop to stop the risk.